Welcome to ABC 7 Extra Sunday. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mark Ross. Back in August, TxDOT's Jennifer Wright was on the program to give us an update on all of the different road projects going on around El Paso. And tonight, she's back with more updates, primarily on the I-10 Widening West project. And Jennifer, thank you for coming on the show. It's always a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you for having me, Mark. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, so the big question is here, a continuation of that widening project that's been occurring between North Mesa and Vinton. So is what we're talking about now considered part two?
You know, actually it is. It is a continuation, and it's been occurring between North Mesa. The first project went from North Mesa to Vinton, and the second project is going from Vinton to the state line. So it's a separate project because it was going to be part of the first project, but this is more of a sequel, as you say, like Terminator 2 or Incredibles 2. We're calling it I-10 Widening West 2.
Okay, so how long are we expecting this project to take, and what will it include?
Well, the project is expected to last up to 3.5 years as crews add a third lane in each direction, reconstructing the main lanes in concrete pavement. We're also adding safety features such as lighting, wrong-way driver detection systems, and operational improvements along this 3.2-mile stretch.
All right, now we've talked about this before, but it bears repeating. You're doing concrete pavement for this project, but when you redid North Mesa, you did it in asphalt. So why does a heavily traveled street like North Mesa get asphalt instead of concrete pavement? Is it a traffic issue?
Actually, it has more to do with speeds and axle weights, which are the big freight. North Mesa doesn't handle the heavy weight that freeways do. Asphalt pavement would wear out really quickly under the weights of freight trucks. So there's much less maintenance over the long run with concrete pavement than with asphalt pavement. But it's also more costly to place in the first place than asphalt pavement, or as we call it, flexible pavement versus the rigid concrete pavement.
Okay, so what's happening right now out there on I-10 West?
Well, work is just beginning as we widen toward the shoulder to maintain 2 lanes of traffic in each direction during construction, just as we did with the first project. So lately, crews are placing barriers so they can work behind it to safely widen to the inside.
All right, what about the traffic impacts?
Oh, we're already seeing those. We've had lane closures to begin the widening toward the shoulder eastbound, and an overnight closure of the I-10 for barrier placement happened Thursday night and through this past weekend, which should finish up overnight tonight. And then next week, we'll see lane closures for I-10 West milling and paving, and an extended full closure of the westbound lanes starting Saturday at 3 and lifting by Monday at 6 a.m. between Trans Mountain Road and Anthony.
Ah, so it begins. All right, now tell us more about the safety features you mentioned: lighting, wrong-way driver detection systems, and operational improvements.
Happily. So we're installing new high-mast lights along the length of the project, which will provide improved illumination for drivers, and wrong-way driver detection systems, which will start flashing a wrong-way sign should someone mistakenly try to enter the freeway using an exit ramp. These are proven countermeasures.
You already have the wrong-way system installed here in El Paso, right?
In many locations. We have it on US 54, which is what you see there, and we have it on I-10 and Loop 375 near downtown, which is a very advanced system. But there are wrong-way driver countermeasures on just about every freeway ramp in town. They vary in how elaborate they are, but there are LED signs on most all that are triggered when a vehicle approaches the ramp going the wrong way. And that's why most of us never see them and know that they're there.
Okay, so talk more about the operational improvements.
Okay, well, those include ramp reversals, which is a modernization and important as areas that have seen or are seeing high growth. When we started building highways, most parts of Texas were very rural and the population was sparse. So it made sense to have the exit ramps very near the intersections and the on-ramps behind them. But as areas see increased population growth, having those exits close to intersections can mean traffic will back up onto the main lanes, which is very dangerous. Also, traffic entering is merging with traffic already on the main lanes and trying to move over to the exit. So that causes slowdowns, or what engineers call friction. By switching these locations, putting the exit where the on-ramps were and the on-ramps where the exits were, you not only allow more room for traffic to line up on the frontage road, but the merging is moved to the frontage roads where speeds are lower, and it removes the friction from the main lanes. So that's an operational improvement we're instituting on several of our widening projects.
And we're already seeing that in effect there for the Paseo del Norte off-ramp.
Right. You see that as we go forward, we are changing those ramps, and that's why it's being done. We also have some beautification coming. You might
That's
wanna know
right.
about.
When we'll talk about that when we come back. We'll tell you how much Part 2 of the I-10 Widening West project is going to cost and why it's being done. And we'll also show you some of those sketches Jennifer just mentioned of the beautification elements of this project, and I think you're going to be impressed. You're watching ABC 7 Extra Sunday.